I am at the Shahid Bedi of Nandigram. This is a memorial for the martyrs of the Nandigram movement, which happened in 2007 when CPM-led left front government wanted to acquire land in Nandigram to create a chemical hub in collaboration with the Salim Group of Indonesia. It is also said that people, when they protested, there was a lot of police firing in which many people were killed. Mamata Banerjee had led the movement from the front. Incidentally, Suvendu Adhikari, the present BJP candidate, and then the key aide of Mamata Banerjee in TMC, had also played a key role in ensuring that the leadership of the movement remains in Mamata Banerjee's hands. As Nandigram heads towards polling day on April 1st, the big question is, will people stand by the Chief Minister of Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, and give her a third chance? Or will people move towards BJP?
মানুষজনের কাছে আহ্বান, আপনারা বেরিয়ে আসুন, আর বিলম্ব করবেন না। ধীরে ধীরে
Why is it this seat is so symbolic of the battle for Bengal?
It's important for two reasons. The sitting Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, whose rise is sort of attributed to Nandigram. The Nandigram movement was one of the catalysts that propelled Trinamool to power. She is fighting from here, and the other thing is Suvendu Adhikari, who is just not any other candidate. He was somebody who has influence in this area, and before he joined the BJP, even the CM and any of these big leaders of the TMC had to sort of take him into consideration whenever they wanted to start a new project or anything in this area. So let me ask you this question: what do you think are the biggest takeaways for the TMC?
So look at it this way. There are 4 seats from South Chhattisgarh, and there are around 16 seats from the East and the West in this 30 seats. There is a big super speciality hospital now.
Yeah.
There were no schools that way, and there is a high school also now in the area. So that way, those are strengths in terms of the certain amount of Ruposhri, Kanyashri kind of schemes that PMC has tried to use to reach out to people. But I think the big crosses are this. One, there is a big the livelihood question is a big question. The biggest source of livelihood is agriculture, and this is the Nandigram land is not one of those where you can grow 3 crops a year.
Yeah.
So you probably grow 1 or maybe at the most 2, which means it's either paddy and after that it's potatoes or some small. None of these get good prices in the market, so there is no big stable livelihood source which can bring in prosperity. not much of jobs. The Nandigram agitation also probably somewhere had, while Mamata had led the movement, but something had also shaken her. And she wanted to be always doubly sure that she doesn't do anything that the left had done to be thrown out of power. But probably her inaction has brought her to this. Yes, there is a super speciality hospital, but when Mamata Banerjee herself got hurt in Nandigram, the fact that the primary first aid support was not given by the super speciality and a green corridor was created for her to be shifted all the way to Kolkata itself says what kind of support mechanism is there in a so-called super speciality hospital. Similarly, education and kakara. So these are the big crosses, I think, for Mamata.
I would like to add to this. I think this is also a battle of matching up or scaling up to the aspirations of people. Like a lot of anti-incumbency voters were in the age group of 21 to 40, especially men. And the women, many of them used words like, she has been good to us, she has done our palan, upkar. These are words, almost saying that, she has nurtured us. Yes. So I found that was very touching. And if the BJP comes to power or TMC comes to power, their challenge is going to be two things. One is scaling up to the aspirations of people, and the second is delivery. Now, Mamata Banerjee is promising a model Nandigram. She's promising a university. One boy who goes to a college, like in I think in Haripur, was telling me that at a university she has this habit of creating universities everywhere. But where are the jobs? Go to schools and there are no permanent teachers. Go to the hospitals, there are no permanent doctors. So there is a problem with delivery. They feel that anything that's created only for optics is not going to be sustainable, and people ask questions. So I think even BJP is going to face this problem because they will have to deliver on what they promise. Delivery is going to be so important, and finding a balance between satisfying voters who want who trust the government for the nurturing role, and the others who basically want industries, all of that. How is this going to sort of like really play out? Because Mamata Banerjee did not get into SEZs, she did not do any changes, she did not make any changes to the Land Ceiling Act, things which are very important for Bengal to grow. So how is the BJP or the TMC, whoever comes to power, how are they going to work around this? Will be interesting to see.
Left and the Congress.
Left and the Congress. See, I think Meenakshi Mukherjee's, like I was noticing her campaign, and on Saturday when I went there again, she has been working hard. She's a young person. She is a terrific orator. So I think the left actually has done a good thing by putting forward a lot of these young faces like Ipsita or Meenakshi, Aishi. But the only problem is, wherever we went, we saw that the left offices are not opened up in at least 2 or 3 places in Purva. And Purva had a 27% CPI vote share in 2016. Where did that go? When we spoke to people, a lot of them said that they shifted to BJP because, Suvendu Adhikari was like the Radha of that area and they wanted to take him on. Now they are like, okay, now they are sort of undecided. I think what the left leadership wants and what the cadre on the ground wants, there is also a lack of consensus or understanding between them, because some of them just want the TMC to go right now. But as far as Meenakshi is concerned, I think she is working very hard, but I don't really think this is going to make a lot of difference in this battle, which has really become Suvendu versus